Also, in the course of finding what you wanted to write about, the thing that I also thought was sort of lovely is that you write very personally about the people you care about, and you're not afraid also to sing about female friendships in your work. And Wildest Moments, which I think a lot of people would assume naturally would be, is actually about one of your a best friendship that is very fraught with very great highs and great lows.
Yes.
And I'm wondering where there is a singular catalyst that sort of drove this song about an experience that you had with your friend Sarah, correct?
Yeah. So I was at my manager's wedding, and we were really drunk outside, and everyone was kind of had too much to drink. It was a really good, fun wedding. And we'd all made these puddings. Some of the good friends had made puddings for to eat. And I was bringing back my trifle bowl, and I was bringing back my mud pie plate. And we were so drunk. Sarah was so drunk. I was drunk. Everyone was in good spirits. She threw the cake in my face. And then I threw some cake in her face. And then it kind of went from being kind of funny to her being really angry with me and slapping me. I mean, it's ridiculous. It was so silly. And then we ignored each other for 3 weeks, and we lived together, so that was awkward.
Oh, that's
and
so
in
funny.
that time I wrote the song because I was so annoyed with her. But I do love her.
And I guess she was sort of surprised that you wrote a song that now is a single. And is now
I think she was surprised, but I also think she was really touched by it. I feel like I'm never a good enough friend at the moment to any of my friends because I'm never there enough. And, you're always kind of finding out things through texting, and you feel quite disjointed because I'm away and I don't feel like I can give enough. And, some friendships can be more demanding than others. And so I think she really appreciated the kind of me reaching out and saying, I do love you, and just acknowledging the fact that, whatever the weather, will still be bestest friends.
Can we hear that song now?
Yes.
This is Jessie Ware on WFUV and Wildest Moments. Such a pretty song, and what a good friend you are, Jessie Ware.
Oh, I don't know about that. Thanks.
Oh, I think that's quite an amazing song to have written for
Thank
you
you.
if you're a friend of yours.
Oh, thanks.
Jessie, when I first became aware of you, I don't know if it was strategic or not, but there was this steady release of singles that sort of built momentum to the release of the album. Was that something done quite deliberately?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely thought about there being a journey. I didn't want to kind of go all guns blazing, and I feel like maybe Wildest Moments is my most kind of universal song that can people can relate to outside of the underground dance world, where it was where I came from. So I think it was just kind of slowly but surely introducing my sound and me as a solo artist. So we brought out Running first in the UK, but that was kind of, actually, I think that was more my idea of just wanting to kind of feel like a diva for a second at the beginning of the year, and kind of stepping away from this I'm the dance vocalist, and me kind of coming out with this video of me singing, in an empty jazz room. And I wanted it to be quite over the top and kind of introduce myself as a solo singer. And then, we did a kind of more lighthearted release, which was If You're Never Gonna Move. And just because it felt nice and kind of summery and springtimey. And then we went into Wildest Moments in the summer, kind of when the Olympics were going out. So, yeah, it was, there was definitely thought behind it, absolutely.
Right. Well, also 110%,
Yes.
which I know the song is 110%, but because of a sample,
Yes,
that Big Pun sample that was used in this song, it's now that can no longer be used.
Yeah.
The song is now going to be different for the U.S. release. It's going to be called If You're Never Going to Move. Now, what was the whole situation with that? And where I thought that it had been resolved at one point.
We thought it had been resolved, and it's just, it's a publishing issue that couldn't be agreed on. So, we've just changed the sample, and the song is still the same, essentially.
And you can't deal directly with the artist because he's no longer with us. So I think that you're dealing with an estate situation.
And
it's different.
And it's actually not Big Pun's estate that's the dispute is about. So it's kind of, it's absolutely fine, and we've got the song. The song is still the same. It's just got a different sample now.
But it's a wonderful track. It's actually where I think I honestly began to just utterly fall in love with what you were doing, because there is something, there's a 90s element to a lot of what you do, that sort of sparks of acid house and a bit of like Massive Attack, Sharon Nelson for me initially.
Thanks.
And even when I first heard you, I was thinking of Janet Jackson and that's the way that love goes.
Thanks. I love that song.
But that's sort of, there's that back to mine vibe that you sort of embrace. And you also are really interesting about the image that you project as well. You do a lot of videos, and there's a certain sophistication and a way that is very universal, that appeals to women as well as men.
Thank you.
So I'm wondering, the sculpting of you as, you know, a solo artist and that image, did that take a lot of thought? Was that something that, or is that naturally you?
It didn't take a lot of thought, but I've definitely wanted to appeal to women, because I care that women like me, because I want them to be able to relate to me, and I'm a very normal person, and I wanted to also kind of have slightly tongue-in-cheek videos that maybe didn't make complete sense, but they were just quite visually fun, and I got to dress in nice clothes, and they were kind of cross between a perfume advert and kind of a David Lynch film,
right?
And so
and Sweet Talk, which uses the kids playing you and your other producer Julio Bashmore.
I mean, that was that I didn't unfortunately have enough time to do a video, and I thought that I thought it would be really fun to kind of take the mick out of me in my first video, almost, which was kind of me almost voguing and have this little girl playing it, and them interpreting the kind of act of going in and writing a song, writing a hit or whatever, with these two kids that get their lunchboxes out, and they're taking it very seriously, and they do this performance in their parents'
and the little girl is adorable.
She was so cute.
She was very cute.
She was adorable.
It was interesting because Natasha Khan of Bat for Lashes was here, and I was lucky enough to talk to her. But we had a conversation about the difference between UK and US female performers, especially on pop charts, and how her worry is not about the male gaze so much. And we also, cited people like, Adele and Paloma Faith and other. There just seems to be a better attitude over there that you don't have to be hypersexualized in order for your music to be appreciated. Yeah. And do you feel that there's a cultural chasm in a way between the US and the UK at all, in the expectation of what a female pop artist is supposed to be?
I don't know. I don't know really how to answer that one, because I love the examples that you use, and I do think that they're for women. These singers are singing not just for the male gaze. I don't know what I mean. I'm so influenced by R&B and American music. So, but yes, I don't want to be perceived as, and also I've never been this kind of like person that would kind of wear show a lot of skin, or it's not about that. For me, it's I think what's a great thing about British artists, it seems like first and foremost it's about the voice and maybe a personality, maybe.
Right. Who do you of US artists? Who do you really love? Who
at the moment?
Yeah,
Miguel. Frank Ocean.
Oh, Frank, that's a beautiful. See that there's a similarity with what you're doing.
I mean, I love him. He's amazing. Who else have I been listening to? Quadron. They're great.
Yeah.
I really like Mickey Echo's voice.
That's an interesting
I think he's going to be
yeah.
really great this year. I think he's going to be a bit unstoppable.
Now, you have a cover on your EP, which is like one of the classics of blue-eyed soul of the 70s. Bobby Caldwell's What You Won't Do for Love. What drew you to the song to do a cover of it?
I love Bobby Caldwell, and I think I knew about Bobby Caldwell from Common's sample of The Light.
That's right.
And then I kind of went, my friend Tick, who actually introduced me to Subtract, kind of showed me more Bobby Caldwell, and I was just like, he's a great songwriter. And the way that he puts across a song, it just makes you feel it. And this song, What You Won't Do for Love, I was listening to the Bobby Caldwell version, the original, and I was like, hold on, isn't that sampled in that Tatiana Ali song? And that Aaliyah song, and Tupac song, it's so there's all these people that have sampled it. And he just, I really like that kind of relationship with him and R&B and hip hop. And
there's a quintessential summer sound about that groove on that song.
Yeah.
Too. At least for me.
Those trumpets, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's so yeah, I just love the song, and so I just wanted to have a go at it.
And even better, you're going to do it today.
Yeah.
This is Jessie Ware on WFUV. That's so pretty.
Thank you.
I love your stamp on that. That is Jessie Ware doing her cover of Bobby Caldwell. Did he originally write "What You Won't Do for Love"? I have a weird feeling. Did he write that?
I think he did.
I should have Googled that.
I think he
didn't.
did.
I'm fairly sure he did as well.
His version's the best.
It is the best. It is the best. Although yours quickly right up there as being
very nice,
a wonderful cover. I would be remiss not to ask you about your journalism background, because had things turned out differently, you would have been doing what I am doing now.
No, I wouldn't have, because I would have been too jealous.
No.
Yes.
But you began as a journalist. You worked for, didn't you work on the sports desk of the Mirror?
I did work experience when I was like 16 on the sports desk and had the best time ever.
And then you wrote music listings for the Jewish Chronicle.
Yeah, like the listings of kind of what was going on in England for Jewish things, whether it be Mattis Yahoo coming into town,
right,
or, you know, I don't know.
I know it's Mattis.
Other Jewish, I don't know, Hanukkah festivals.
Oy vavoy. What was it? Oy vavoy or something?
Oy vavoy, yeah, I remember them, yeah.
Or something like that. That's so funny. So do you still, I mean, aside from songwriting, do you still feel that, do you enjoy writing beyond that scope at all?
I do. I don't think I'm very good at it. So I'm kind of, I find it quite hard.
Right.
It's quite a struggle. I did an English literature degree, and I never loved doing my essays because I never felt that confident about them. But I think it's a really good kind of skill to try and keep up with.
And is it true that one day, because of the fact that you love singers like Barbra Streisand, and would you do want to do an album of covers of standards one day?
Oh, I'd love to. I'd love to, but I think I need to wait whether people care enough for me to go and sing other people's wonderful songs. I think it would come later, but I'd love to do that.
Well, we usually wrap up everything with a guest DJ pick all the time, and I'm going to narrow the field down, because I would ask you of all the standards that mean a great deal for you. If you were to pick a song to play, what standard would be one that you would perhaps dream to cover?
I think maybe Sarah Vaughan's "Someone to Watch Over Me."
And why do you love that song?
I just love that song. I remember singing it, and I loved performing that one. That was like one that actually I felt really confident with. And I just think it's so gentle, and I'm a little lamb that's lost in the wood. I know I could always be good. I don't know, it just gets me. And then it's got this big, although he may not, and it's like, I love all the drama in it in the middle eight.
Well, that sounds like a great pick. And Jessie Ware, I am so glad you are finally in the United States and people get to find out who you are. Devotion will be out in April here at long last. And I'm assuming you're going to spend a lot of time touring here as well.
I am. We're kind of in the middle of a tour, so we're just hopefully we'll be coming back a few times in the year.
Well, I'm so happy that you made a detour to the Bronx.
Thank you so much for having me.